Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Neela Patel. Oh, she has changed the. ठीक है, ठीक है. You take over this thing. I'll do that. Now we need to go to. Hare Krishna. We were having a big feast when this was going on. Keshava is still eating. Yes, which is the shloka? Which is the chapter? 10th chapter. Then? Yes. Shloka number bhai. Tushti, satisfaction is over, no? That we did. After that we did. Then? Oh.
It's the 10th sloka. Hare Krishna.
Yogi, find it. Hare Krishna. You can all hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Let us. It's fine. Oh. This is over last time. Yes, this is another famous shloka of Bhagavad Gita. This also we did. Machita Mata Gata Prana.
Yes, Prabhu, we have to begin from 10th shloka today.
Okay. How many people remember the shloka Kanthastha? This is everybody remember this. A devotee shloka. Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham satatayuktanam
bhajatam priti purvakam
bhajatam iti purvakam
dadami buddhi yogam tam
pradham buddhiyogam tam
inamamupayanti te.
yena mamupayanti te.
Tesham unto them satata yuktanam
Satata yuktanam.
always engaged.
Always engaged.
Bhajatam
Bhajatam
in devotional service.
in
devotional service.
Priti purvakam
Priti
loving ecstasy.
and loving ecstasy.
In love,
Dadami
Salami,
I give.
I give
Buddhi yogam
yoga
intelligence.
Really.
Some that
yena
by which
bhavin mam
Mom,
to me
unto
Unto
me,
me.
upayanti
upayanti
come
kam
Come.
te.
they, they.
To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. To those
To those
To those
who are constantly devoted
who
who
are
are
constantly
constantly
devoted
and worship me
and worship
with love,
with love,
with
I give
love,
the understanding
I
I
give
give the understanding.
by which
by
by
which
which
Right.
they can come to me.
they can
They can come
they
to me.
Yes. Prernamadhi, you will read.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the word Buddhi Yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, the Lord instructing Arjuna said that he had spoken to him of many things that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. Now Buddhi Yoga is explained. Buddhi Yogam itself is action in Krishna consciousness, that is highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence and Yogam means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi Yogam. In other words, Buddhi Yogam is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this. Therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna, and when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in Karma Yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, he is acting in Jnana Yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, which is the complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to spiritual organization, but still, if he is not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately... Could you scroll down, please?
Come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that...
Tabu, I can't see because of the...
I know, but what do I do?
You have to scroll down.
No. This is a different reader. Okay, I'll do something.
It's not folio.
Just no. Okay. Yeah. Now you can read. I think.
Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is intelligent enough, he will make progress in the path of self-realization. If one is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In fact, Prabhupada is giving this class and one devotee was sleeping. So Prabhupada said, Krishna gives intelligence to those who are hearing, not to those who are sleeping. And immediately gets up. So they're constantly devoted, and that is the kindness of Krishna. Those who are engaged, and Krishna personally, Tesham Sadiktanam Bhajadam Priti Dadami Buddhi Yogam Dam. Krishna from within the heart, Krishna says, I give him the intelligence by which he can come to me. So there are a lot of implications of this. First thing is that the Buddhi Yoga, the definition itself, Prabhupada takes from here and puts it in the second chapter. Second chapter, around 39 shloka, Krishna tells Arjuna that I taught you everything now based on Sankhya before, because I taught you about body and soul. But now I'll talk to you based on Buddhi Yoga. So the Prabhupada translate Buddhi Yoga as devotion service, and Prabhupada quotes the shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So we can understand from the shloka, Buddhi Yoga means real intelligence. Prabhupada is translated here. Okay? And what is real intelligence? That we know how to surrender to Krishna. I can go back to Krishna. And Krishna, when you are serving him, he gives you that. Many people go to serve the Lord with some motive that then Krishna doesn't give. It is said, no, Krishna gives bhakti very rarely. Krishna gives material facilities very easily. So when somebody is serving Krishna, without any maintaining some illusion, sometimes we like to maintain illusions. Like suppose somebody is watching a movie, you go and tell him nothing is there on the terminal. Only some colors are there. No. Let this illusion continue. So similarly, we also are so weak-minded. We like to maintain our illusions and we serve our illusions, and you're falling at the fit of our illusions. Then it will be very difficult for Krishna to come and help you with pure devotion. Then other things Krishna may supply as the Supreme Father. But when we are actually sincere, Prabhupada says the only thing we need to be sincere and serious, then Krishna gives a real intelligence. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tan. What kind of intelligence? Yena Mam Upayantite, by which we are able to achieve Krishna. And Prabhupada has very nicely defined a Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And somebody knows the goal of life but is addicted to fruitive activities, then we can say he is in Karma Yoga. And somebody knows the goal of life but is attracted to speculation, still sits and speculates. You want to know, he just doesn't sit and read Bhagavatam. He wants to sit and imagine. That is Jnana Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga means, what is the shloka? Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulena Krishnanus Sivanam Bhaktim Uttamam. Or who knows the exact shloka? Anyavilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanusilanam Bhaktim Uttama. So that is the definition of pure devotion. We're free from karma. We are not interested. Actually, Krishna explains Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga so that we can understand the limitations and we come to pure Bhakti Yoga. Just like if you know what is 99-degree temperature, what is 103-degree temperature, then you know what is the sicknesses. So you know you come to the normal temperature, which is free from karma and jnana. ठीक है. Okay, like that only. You can. ठीक है. Okay. Hare Krishna. A person may have bona fide. Kesha will join us soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have space. Person may have bona fide spiritual master, Prabhupada says, but it's not intelligent to make progress, and Krishna from within the heart will give mercy. But what are the qualifications for Krishna to personally interfere in somebody's life and guide him? He should be always engaged in the love and devotion. See, for Prabhupada, that is easy to say because he is a pure devotee. Therefore, Prabhupada said, no, surrender in a moment. Why don't you surrender? One moment it takes, because he has surrendered. And he knows it's not difficult at all to take shelter of Krishna, and Krishna is the Sharanyam Sharanam. He is qualified to give shelter to anybody. He is worthy of taking shelter. Okay, so therefore he says, always says surrender immediately, always love and devotion. He can say like that. But for us, we generally present the process of Krishna consciousness because we are more in the process. Hare Krishna. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and the work should be with love. A devotee is intelligent enough to make progress in the path of self-realization. Sincere, devoted, the Lord gives us the chance to make progress and ultimately attain. Yeah, now anybody? We have gone through this. Would like to comment? Yes, Neela Mataji, you had any question on this?
No problem.
Hare Krishna Mataji, any questions?
You're not able to hear me?
Prabhu, the last paragraph,
Ah.
the first line I did not understand. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization.
Ah.
But still, if he is not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions. So
That he may ultimately come to him without doing. See, one place Prabhupada says this very unique way. He says primary personality is Krishna. Correct? He is the Adi Purusha. He is the Supreme Father. So he is the one whose initiative to take you back. Therefore, Krishna is the one who launches the party of Brahma. He makes, Shiva, Lakshmi all launch different parties. One side, Krishna gives us the opportunity to be independent of him. And one side, he is the one who takes initiative to launch different sampradayas to reclaim us. Okay? And so therefore, in that way, Krishna is primary. So when he says we are not taking benefit of the exalted devotees, and we are not taking benefit of a spiritual organization, so then Krishna is there in the heart. So he will start giving instructions from within the heart also. Krishna acts as a Chaitya Guru sometimes, correct? There are two kinds of gurus. One is Chaitya Guru and one is external Guru. So sometimes within the heart, Krishna starts guiding the devotee. But what is the qualification for the special attention from Krishna, direct personal intervention from Krishna, is that he should be very with love and devotion, is offering all kinds of services. Prabhupada says some work we should do for Krishna, and work should be done with love. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Preeti Mataji, what happened? We are seeing you after 1 month.
No. 2 weeks, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a question. I was in this.
Hey, are you getting echo if I put the speaker?
No, Prabhu.
Any echo is coming?
No, Prabhu.
No. Continue. Yeah. Chalo.
Prabhu, I was with the devotees last week in Gita Nagri, and I learned one thing. Prabhu, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Tell me.
So they were saying somehow or the other remain associated with your local ISKCON temple.
Correct.
You know, somehow or the other render some service all the time.
Yeah.
Like, don't give up the temple around somehow or the other.
Yeah.
So
See,
I
point
was
is that the reason is this: ISKCON cannot be recreated. Okay? And Prabhupada used to say, even if you feel all devotees are pseudo devotees, please don't leave my mission. Okay? So therefore, nobody can do it. And sometimes we go, we may not be, suppose, even if we are not very inspired, but still we are also become one member there. No, we are also visiting the whole atmosphere. Uh, we want all the centers should become very active, healthy, preaching wonderfully. And there are always some devotees who are very sincere, and we get inspired by somebody. We make so many good friends. Now we are all in the virtual world, so in the real world also we can make some friends of devotees.
okay. Well, it's like a very strong statement Prabhupada wrote, and like Prerna was saying, a person may have a bona fide spiritual master, may be attached to a spiritual organization, but still if he's not intelligent enough to make progress, so that means even if I'm intelligent, even if I should somehow or the other remain associated with my temple.
With that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with always as a sangha is always good. See what happens. Man is a social animal. If he doesn't have sangha of devotees, he will start having sangha. Even subtly, we will make sangha of karmis. So always it is good to make association with devotee. Correct? We need to live in a man cannot live alone. He has to live with devotees. So it's always good. Yes. Yes, Swati Mataji, would like to give some comments?
No problem.
Yes, clear the shloka.
Yes, Prabhu.
Himali, you like to add something?
Nothing, Prabhu. It is a
Yeah?
very sweet shloka.
Yes. Yeah, this is for devotees, this shloka. Tesham tatadhyuktanam bhajatam pritivo tadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam. Chalo. Then we continue. Next. This is even more sweet. Tesham evanukampartham
तेषाम् एवानुकाम्पार्थाम्
aham agyamajam tamaha
अहम् अज्ञानतमः
nashayami atmabhavasto
नाशयामि
jnanadipena bhashvata.
ज्ञानेन भास्वता
Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Yes, who will read now? Neela Mataji, you like to read?
When Lord Chaitanya was in Banaras promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakarshananda Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Varanasi at the time, decided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalist. Actually, that is not true. That is not the fact. There are very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take the advantage of their literatures or of the spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is held by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engages in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. The Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even without sufficient knowledge of the Vedic principles, are still held by the Supreme God, as stated in this verse. The Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth Krishna pleased, and by his inconceivable energy he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Due to the contamination of the material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of the materialism. But when one engages in a devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly cleanses and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the material necessities of life. He need not be anxious, because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic allures.
Yes, who likes to start on this? So why the example of Lord Chaitanya is taken here is that Lord Chaitanya taken a mood for us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not a fool. He was a great personality. So when he went to Banaras and he was chanting in the Nama Sankirtan and the public, so there were Mayavadi sannyasis in that place and they got very envious because he's having a huge following. They're chanting and dancing with him. So they said, oh, he's a sentimental fool. He doesn't know any Vedanta. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu avoided them. But later what happened is that when there was an opportunity and they met, at that time they asked Lord Chaitanya that, you do Nama Sankirtana, why don't you come and meet us? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my Guru Maharaj saw me a great fool. He said, what Vedanta you will speak? You just chant Hare Krishna mantra. So Prabhupada said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not a fool actually, he was very learned. And later when the discussion happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convinced them of Krishna consciousness. And they were even the Goswamis, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So anyway, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed such great scholarship. He was, but at the same time, he always showed himself a very simple person. This is an example for us. Even though we are not capable to be such a big scholars, but if we have accepted the process of Krishna consciousness, automatically all the realization will manifest in the heart. Sometimes we feel, oh, I am not knowing Sanskrit, I am not, knowing that Upanishad, that Upanishad. No. Please be engaged as the Acharya has given. And process of Krishna consciousness, even though it looks very simple, it is not so easy to follow. And therefore, Prabhupada says, people say it is simple, but when the practice it comes, they fall away from their path, from the path of Krishna consciousness. Actually, this looks simple, but this is all we can do in Kali Yuga, and it gives the highest benefit which can be imagined. And anybody can imagine. He can't even know how much Krishna consciousness can bless them. Therefore, Prabhupada says there is no possibility of understanding the truth. There is no need of sitting and speculating. He's so great that nobody can understand him by any kind of mental effort. Prabhupada says you can keep speculating, and he's not a devoted, he's not a lover, he'll never be able to understand the supreme truth. Only by devotional service he is pleased, and then the Lord will reveal himself. Yeah, who wants to develop on this shloka? So this is one of the Chatu Shloka we said. There are 4 shlokas. So this is starts from this 8 shloka. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Here Krishna says, I am the origin, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotion service and worship me with all their hearts. Machita matagata prana bodhayastas parasparam kathayantas cha mam nityam tushyanti cha ravanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. 2, 3. Tesham satayuktanam vachatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. And the 4th, the last shloka which we read just now, Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavasto jnanadipena bhashyata. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Yes, anybody had any question? Today nobody is discussing. Our Kesha is on the way. He was here with me. He has gone to his brother-in-law's house. He will join us from there. Manoj, you wanted to say something? Is clear? This 4 shlokas?
Yes, Prabhuji. Waiting for Krishna's mercy to enlighten something in my heart. And then I'll ask you.
Yes.
Prabhu, Krishna says this in many places that, I think, I don't know why Krishna, that Krishna says it at many places that by knowledge, by philosophical speculation, by material opulence. In 11th chapter also he says, I don't remember the exact shloka, but he says that you cannot understand me. He repeats this in multiple places in Bhagavad Gita. I have noticed it. So maybe this is like very important for us that, okay, a material education makes us so proud that I'm so educated. But Krishna says you can go on getting whatever you want, but you are not gonna get me. So I was actually under the impression before I met these devotees in Gita Nagari that because if somebody is educated, it is very hard for them to understand Krishna. But when I saw the people, like last week there was this North American healthcare, because they are trying to establish the healthcare for devotees all over.
I saw the photographs of that,
Yes.
but I don't know, you were not visible in that.
I was sitting in the corner because there were many senior.
Doctors.
So I saw very nice and very rich, like billionaires. Trauma surgeon, one physician, his name is Murari Gupta, Prabhu. He's American. He came from Florida. He's a trauma surgeon and he's a pathologist, and he was in Radha Damodar bus party. So I found it very interesting to share that he said, I was in my class in biochemistry and I heard a kartal outside in Florida, I think. And he went outside 4 days after. He went outside to see, it was Vishnu Jan Swami and Tammal Krishna Goswami playing harmonium and kartal. And then he said, oh, you guys are playing so nice. Then Vishnu Jan Swami asked him if you want to join us. So he left his college and joined them to go in Radha Damodar bus party. And he was telling us big realization, and then he came back to become a doctor. So I was under the impression that, people on the high post cannot take to Krishna because material education makes you so proud that I am better than anybody else. So because the environment around such people is like that. But he was a billionaire, like a billionaire. He was talking in millions because he had actually made a whole clinic for devotees in Florida, but it didn't work out. He wants to do it again. That's why he's asking all of us. And his realization were so nice. Even though Krishna gave him so much, he was so down to earth. When I saw them, and he's not even Indian, then I thought of this shloka that Krishna says that philosophical speculations, material opulence cannot make you Krishna conscious. Only the mercy of a pure devotee. So I've actually, and Prabhupada himself, like I heard one ISKCON TV,
Mayapur
Prabhupada,
TV.
not Mayapur TV, ISKCON Prabhu, that the DVDs you used to show us
ठीक है
in
ठीक है ITV yeah.
Shrutakirti. He was asked because he traveled with Prabhupada for the last 2.5 years when he was on this planet, that what is the most peculiar thing about Prabhupada. He said, I don't know one, I will tell you two. Number one, Prabhupada was never ever allured.
Okay, what is the thing? Number one?
He was never allured by whatever pampering he received or offerings he received from his disciples. He got like so much offerings and opulence in terms of Prabhupada was very rich. ISKCON is very rich and he's the owner. And number two, whenever there was an opportunity to preach and the other person was not amiable to Krishna, like Mayavadis or people who like eating meat but at the same time running the church, he would get more enthusiastic. Like, I want to get out of that place. If I see an antagonist person, I think my energy is drained. But he said Prabhupada was so energetic that he would put more energy and more enthusiasm in making that person prove wrong or make him Krishna conscious or give him more mercy. So I think maybe I should get out the shloka, like maybe I should work on getting the shlokas where Krishna repeats. I have seen 5 times at least where Krishna repeats that you cannot be Krishna conscious by this, by philosophical speculation, by material opulence. But he says you can be Krishna conscious by association. So I just wanted to share. So it's very important, I think, that
in fact,
we understand that, because
Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jada Vidya Maya Andhakara. More and more material education. Somehow, that's a society. That's why Prabhupada, whenever he gets opportunity, as a strategy, we were discussing last time, as a strategy he attacks the scientists. It's a strategy. It's not that he, it's an application which Prabhupada is giving, because they are so much being worshipped in the society as, man of knowledge means a scientist. And more the degrees, more he becomes proud. So therefore, as a strategy, Prabhupada just demystifies that person. You know that recently it has come out, the Alfred Ford, he met Prabhupada. He has given his first meeting with Prabhupada. So he was a grandson of Henry Ford, great grandson. And Henry Ford at this time was the richest man in the world, very powerful, rich. At the time he said, when I met Prabhupada, so somebody introduced Prabhupada, he is the great grandson of Henry Ford. So Prabhupada looked at me. It's the first line Prabhupada said, so where is he now? And he was shocked. Immediately, Prabhupada blew apart all his opulence. And so where is that Henry Ford? So I was thinking. So Prabhupada was not flattering me. Straight away brought me to ground. And then preaching Krishna consciousness. Like that, yes. Yeah, so they definitely philosophy.
Amrish Maharaj, his name is...
Huh? His name is not Amrish Prabhu. Amrish. Yeah, Amrish Prabhu.
Amrish Maharaj, he came to our Boston festival.
He came to
very
your
nice.
He's a very down-to-earth person. Very down-to-earth. Chalo. Okay.
Yes. But yes, Prabhu.
Anything to add? Anybody?
Prabhuji, I want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Prabhuji, just on that point that Preeti Mataji was telling, right? So I think there are two aspects of looking at it. One is material opulence, and another is material education and being proud of it. Material opulence, we have read in so many shlokas that Krishna says if one is not able to complete the journey, Krishna consciousness journey in life, then next birth we get a good situation. Yeah, that means we will not see too many struggle. We will not have to waste a lot of time in acquiring materials to be able to survive our lives. We'll get a good birth in a good family. So that is in some ways connected to the material opulence that the individual has, and the material education is about these scientists or that concept, Prabhuji, where we are learning more and more about materials and becoming proud of it and getting away from spiritualism.
Correct. We think some kind of satisfaction we get. The same shloka of Queen Kunti, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shivi. So Shruta and Aishwarya, they may give some kind of a satisfaction to you. And even Shri, beauty, I'm very beautiful. Uh, and then Janma, I'm in a great birth. They give some kind of a satisfaction. So you feel some kind of accomplishment by achieving that. And society is mad when you have these four items, or we are focusing on these two now. You said education and opulence. So society puts a band, you achieve something, you achieve something. So you start getting some kind of a hallucination that you accomplish something. So where is the question of prayer then? Correct? Prayer comes when you know that I am hopeless, helpless, my Lord, without you, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, without you, my Lord, I can't survive. Correct? Because I am nothing without you. But my possession is only Namo Akinchana Vittaya. Krishna is only a possession of the property of the people who have nothing to possess. But if you think I am possessing something and that is giving me satisfaction, then there is an opportunity for me to sit down and offer some service to Krishna with love, in the mood of complete dependence. Because we wanted to be independent from Krishna, so these opulences, if a proper says, Janma, Sharya, Shruta, Shri, all the things are zeros. Our opulence is zero, or beauty is zero, or knowledge is zero. But if it is connected to Krishna, it's like that devotee Preeti Mataji met as a doctor, but is creating some facility for devotees to get treated in America. Actually, in America, medical bill means is doctors don't spare you. In India also it has started. In India also it has started now. Many people are paying medical bill through insurance, and it's some kind of a cartel. Once that starts off, they pay a hefty bill, but for that they take a heavy insurance, and people have to get trapped into insurance. It is happening in India now. You cannot go to hospital to pay the bill. You don't have insurance, you are done for in India also. In America, you can't survive without. Correct? I don't know how it is in England. There also, I think it is very, very expensive.
Yes.
Hey, are you getting an echo or anything?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay.
It's fine.
No, Prabhu.
ठीक है, चलो.
Prabhu, I want to share something
Yeah,
I heard in the last.
Keshav was, that Keshav was here with me, and you are saying today she will tell you 2 weeks she has been traveling. We'll have a lot of things to catch up with her. He's very wise boy. Yeah.
So Devamrita Swami Maharaj was there, and then
he is a very jovial
he was
devotee.
telling.
Yeah, he keeps laughing. I hear his lectures. Very jovial.
he was telling.
Huh.
He was telling he took to Krishna consciousness at very young age, and then his brother became a physician. Like he's like a brother is very, I think, good earning person. He said he has like a big house in a 3-car garage, and also his mother, who is a nurse himself, sometimes tells him that what have you become? What have you done with your life? You would have been up there. So he says, of course I don't tell this to my mom, but then I think in my mind, up where? So that he would have been just like lost. But he was sharing one very good realization that when they were children and they had fever, it was very happy morning for them because you don't have to go to school. So so when a child has a fever and the tongue is very hot, so you eat ice cream and it gives very good sensation to the tongue. So that's why they were looking forward to have fever. First no school, second ice cream. So like that, if but the healthy situation is to be not have fever and go to school and grow. But we were so this is how he was explaining. I mean, I'm not trying to preach, I'm just repeating what I heard and I really liked.
We can develop that. See what happened, no, Mataji, they're all very experienced preachers. They're preaching around the world. So we catch up very nice analogies, nice arguments from them. Okay. Yes.
So like that, if I get a sensation, oh, I'm so happy, I am so comfortable, I have a very good job, I'm educated, or we were explaining Prabhu like Kunti Maharani, then immediately we have a fever. So that's not a normal situation. And I was hearing the lecture yesterday. One sannyasi was saying that to be Krishna conscious means to be normal. So if I draw an analogy, that I think I'm in deep fever. So
yeah, Prabhupada says, in the purport he says, no, it is good to remove the fever. And sometimes in the same Queen Kunti prayers, Prabhupada says that is the material opulence and material, pride of material opulence and this thing, it's like a fever. And sometimes Krishna removes the fever forcefully. Just like Prabhupada takes his humble role. He's in a different position, but he takes a role that I was not taking up my position, the order of my Guru Maharaj. So Krishna smashed that fever. So he says removing the fever is actually good, even though we may not feel, even though we may not feel very. Okay, just wait a minute. Our Krishna Raj wants to join. Yeah. So it's like a feverish condition. And another thing, these all things may be zero, but if you put one, it becomes very valuable. Correct?
yes.
But one immediately it becomes very valuable. So Krishna, here is Keshava. Chalo. Okay, we go to the next verse then. We'll discuss some more points there.
Yes.
Anybody wanted to say something? Prerna Mataji, Neela Mataji, Manoj, Ananta, she has not said anything. Himali Mataji, like to add something? Swati Mataji, would you like to say something?
Prabhu, I also remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime when I read this shloka. That is when one Brahmana, who was not very much educated, he was not able to read the Bhagavad Gita properly. He was maybe holding the book in the upside down manner also. So all the other Brahmanas were very learned, sitting beside him, were making fun of him, saying that this person being a Brahman also cannot read even a shloka. But he was so attached to this book, and tears were flowing out of his eyes when he sees the Bhagavad Gita, thinking that Krishna, being Supreme Personality of Godhead, acted as a charioteer just for the sake of his devotee. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and saw this, he embraced him, saying that this is the true spirit. I mean, it's not necessary that one knows the shlokas or is able to read the Bhagavad Gita very nicely, but the true spirit is understanding Krishna very well and the love that we show towards Krishna. That is most important.
Yeah, I think that's the best example for the shloka, because he was, dwelling in their heart. Yeah, these two shlokas, if you take, this is the best example. Even though he was not a scholar, even though he was not knowing much philosophy, but because he sincerely tried to execute the order given to him by the Acharya, immediately Krishna, within the heart, inspired him and taught him everything. Yes, amazing. And Krishna gives him a certificate that yes, you have understood the true meaning of Bhagavad Gita. Correct? Whenever he used to hold the book, I used to remember what you said, that Krishna has beautiful features and also Krishna's kindness to Arjuna, that he was driving the chariot. Yes.
So, Prabhu, this is Neela. I have a question.
Bodhayastas parasparam. So whenever devotees discuss together, something will learn.
Prabhu, this is Neela. I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking you in general because I'm not understanding it. I heard it from it said that you know a culture is like a container, and the Krishna consciousness is like the object. So without a container, you cannot receive that object properly. So we being in US, our kids, even though if we try, they're not taking that culture. So how that can impact? I'm just trying to understand. The more and more I'm thinking, I'm not understanding it. So can you just um, explain this to me, please?
The culture, relation between culture and Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, because it said that a culture is like a container and the Krishna consciousness is like the object. So without a container, how can you receive the object properly? So because here, like, it's not that every now and then you are able to go to the temple and make your kids read all the time. It's not possible. Like how in India, even though if you don't try much, kids get that knowledge from here and there from so many different places. But here in US is so difficult, specifically where I am right now. There is no proper Krishna temple as well. So how this can impact? Like what it is saying that that without the proper culture you can't get a Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Preeti, you are living in America. How do you manage?
Prabhu, my kids are not the perfect example, but I learned one thing, that I set the most important example in my kids' life, so they will take whatever I do. That's where the charity begins, from home. That's what I learned, and how much I associate what I do every day in my house, or how do I treat the deities? Are they living with it or not? Because I'm following what I was taught with my parents most of the time, and then the same is going to happen to them. And plus, association is very important. This question was brought up in the temple last week also. So one sannyasi, I think it was Devamrita Swami only, he answered that if you are associated with fire, you will feel hot. So you associate with devotees. And actually, there was one devotee who came from New Jersey, and he said, I had no interest in Krishna consciousness. It's just that my children made friends in the temple, and I had to go every week because my children were pushing me. So now he's such a nice devotee that actually he's starting a new center in New Jersey. So Krishna, sometimes our children take us to Krishna consciousness, but it has to start from the age, like young age. When they are big, it's difficult. And I have friends, and Neela knows Advaita Chandra Das and Krishna Priya. Like they don't go to temple regularly too, but the house is like a temple. Like living the principles of what given by Prabhupada.
Either we have to regularly go to a temple, or our house we should have a temple. Okay, and anyway, it all begins by children's. Yeah, their children's also many times what happens, if you don't give them a company or devotee children's, then they don't pick up. They may learn from us good Krishna consciousness, but when they go home, go to their school, college, and they don't have any other friends, because they people like to mix in their own age groups. So if they mix them with the devotees, children's, then they easily pick up. This is in many cases where children pick up and the parents follow it. I think that the concept of the Sunday school, many places it has come up. Hey, Keshava, yes, you like to add? Neela Mataji's question is that how somebody can bring up whole family to Krishna consciousness.
I mean, is it only about family or about oneself also?
Yeah, in one sense it's quite similar, because person is not in an active association. She's similar. No, doesn't matter America or India. Finally, it's just a name. Any place you have a building, you have a land, you have some windows. At the end, inside the house, it is same. When you go outside, then you see it is India or you're America. So if somebody not in an active association, how can he maintain his own Krishna consciousness? And particularly our question, how to bring the children up in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, I asked Preeti because I'm a bachelor. You can answer. You're also family.
Without association, it's very difficult to. I mean, there is no chance at all. Or you should be very. Your mind should be very under your control, and you should associate directly with Prabhupada with this through his books. Otherwise, without devotees association, it's almost impossible. I mean, at least a person like me.
Yeah. Some association is needed. Yes, anybody wants to add? Prerna Mataji? You understood the question on her perspective?
Yes, Prabhu. I think we can make a difference by doing small things like praying before we eat, thanking Krishna even after crossing the road safely. So I think everything counts.
No, I will not. Prabhu, my mother has a suggestion.
That comes out of that. Such things comes out of some culture only. I mean, the question was like, if a person without culture will he not be able to take up Krishna consciousness? Wasn't it, Prabhu?
Yeah. Bodhyasas parasparam. You all discuss it to come out.
Put efforts. I think you have to put efforts. I don't think it happens automatically.
Of course.
Because when I did not know about God, I used to get confused which God to pray to before I came to ISKCON. And I used to go to a Shiva temple, and next week I go to a Devi temple, and then I say sorry to Shiva. So I was confused about who to pray to and whether I'm offending any God by going to the next temple.
Yes. Yeah, Preeti, your mother wanted to say something.
Yeah, say.
By feeding the children prasadam. This is the best way, I think.
Very true.
Yes, Mataji has made all the children's devotees, so she can speak. all 2 daughters and all have become devotees. Yes. Okay.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes,
Prabhu,
yeah.
If culture is that important, then how Prabhupada was able to make devotees all over the world?
Yes. Keshava.
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada said it is his magic.
First magic. Even Yamuna used to be Prabhupada's magic.
He said, I mean, what better magic? I think Prabhu had posted it in the group also. What better magic you want? And this is a magic, mystic power. Of course, I mean, he is empowered to do so because he is blessed by Krishna. He has come for that from the spiritual world, so obviously he can do it. There is no bars for him. There is no bar of culture or anything. In fact, he had gone to many of his friends with so-called culture to borrow 1 or 2 sons of his friends who never gave. Isn't it, Prabhu? Before going to US?
Yeah, he asked.
He asked his friends to give son.
You have 4 children, you give me 1 and you can spread the message of Gita.
With so-called culture, it didn't work.
In fact, when America Prabhupada many times, you forget the Indians, they'll never become serious. He was so frustrated.
Say something. Prabhu, what Himali said is actually very encouraging. Thank you, Himali. I think I got the point. It's
the taste. We have to do the taste.
Well, Prabhupada made the whole culture actually. Prabhupada made a different type of a culture for us. Actually, when you are in India, you don't. I can tell you from my perspective. When you are in India, it is so automatic, because I remember Mangalore was like Vaikuntha. I did not want to come out of the temple. When I'll go next? When I'll go next? Was the thing. But when you are here and you associate with them who actually Prabhupada started, Prabhupada put those deities there, and I got the fortune to do all that, and then meet like Prabhupada 14 disciples or everybody on the same day, and then each one of them sharing their memories with Prabhupada about Prabhupada. It was like those people were themselves looking for something better. So I think if I'm sure what this is the best thing, then somehow or other I'll make it. Prabhupada will help me. Why not?
Yeah, no,
So
that's the every devotee in ISKCON. This is his only saving grace. That if he tries whole life to serve Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is really pleased, he will personally hold the hand and take me back to Godhead. None of us are in any position to go back to Godhead. Correct? It is his own. We are depending on him. And this everybody says, even big sannyasis, everybody says, we cannot take you back to Godhead. It's only he can take you back to Godhead. We can only connect you to Prabhupada. Correct? At this, nobody has the locus standa. It's all in the hand of the Acharya.
one question was raised, Prabhu, last week to one of the sannyasis, that how do you maintain such a simplicity in your life? Because generally, whatever sannyasis I've seen, they're very simple. Their diet is very different. It has no taste. Their life is very simple. They travel with 2 suitcases, and whatever they speak is like the lifestyle is like when you, because they come and stay in their disciples' house. I had a fortune to know the details and actually go out to shop for them with my friend before their arrival. So one person asked one of the sannyasis, how do you maintain such simplicity? Like, can you teach us so that we can do it? So actually, if I draw an analogy, he gave a very nice answer that, are we really trying to be simple? Like, how many of us want a simple life? I don't think I can live that life. So the analogy, Prabhu, maybe my understanding is wrong, but am I really trying to be Krishna conscious myself? If yes, then it's not gonna fail. But if I see somebody else failing, Prabhupada used to say, what your preaching will do. Real preaching is give a book. Give my book, make that person read my book. Right, Prabhu? Like I have heard from you. Prabhupada used to say, what your 5-minute preaching will do. Real preaching is give my book. So if we can give, if I'm connected, whatever I'm connected, like if I'm treating a patient, I can only treat the patient according to my knowledge. Beyond that, no, I can't do it. So I have to give to somebody else. So over here, the authority is Prabhupada. And they also said, don't get discouraged. No, there is no single way. There are many ways. And there is success at the end. I don't know.
There was a nice, I don't know how many of you have seen, there was a devotee. He does that, he's a comedian actually. And he every year comes at West Virginia for, their yearly group. And one time he says, it's a very beautiful one. I don't know, next time you remind me, I can show you on the YouTube. And he says, Keshava, you add some points. I'll just search that video. The amazing, amazing video. Prabhupada Mercy. Culture, knowledge. Culture, actually knowledge leads to values, values leads to culture. Prabhupada in India classes, when he took some classes in India, many times Prabhupada says, why you want to give up your culture? And also Indians are most unfortunate. They give them their culture, they want to imitate the Western life now.
But Krishna consciousness, it's above everything. It has no bars. Krishna consciousness can be easily taken up, so anybody would take up. If he is interested to take up, anybody should be able to take up Krishna consciousness. No culture will be a bar. Moreover, I think because the angle of birth is not at all there in Krishna consciousness. What kind of birth you have taken, either in a Brahmana family or any other family, because it is not there. So anybody can take up Krishna consciousness. Even otherwise, it is said in the Bhagavatam that anybody chanting the holy name of the Lord even once is glorious than the dog eaters also. Prabhu?
Yeah.
Even Bhagavad Gita says, Shriya Shudra Sadaveshya Tepiyam Tipuramritim. So not only in the modern age, any age, Krishna consciousness could be taken up by anybody chanting, and the process is so easy. And Prabhupada has given as I think Prabhupada only used that this is the rock bottom, 16 rounds. So 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles. This is a new culture, and anybody can take up. It's so easy, at least in theory. It's so easy.
How many people have YouTube plugin? Preeti, you have put YouTube plugin?
Prabhu, I can play it on the phone because that's the iPad. It doesn't have those.
Oh, you are also on iPad, like Keshava. Okay. Now what I'll do, I will just, I'll tell you in brief what happened, and I put it in our that WhatsApp group, the link, okay? So you can see that later. The amazing link. What happens? He talks about how this is Yadunath Prabhu. He is an expert comedian. Okay, many times. Oh, some people are ready, but many are not ready. Okay, you people can anyway see this later. Very beautiful one. He says the person has, so many problems. He's holding on to 16 rounds, and he talking like the karma is trying to overcome him. The lust won't go away, and so many things are disturbing. But he's holding on his 16 rounds, and things are going on. Somehow he's struggling, but he's holding on. And he said, "In comes Prabhupada mercy," and it brings Krishna prema with it, and everything, all the things disappear away. He speaks it very nicely. I can't speak like that. It's a very, very touching with the way he says at the end, because you're trying to hold on to Prabhupada order, even though the Maya is trying to crush you. Definitely one day you get Prabhupada mercy and your spiritual life starts. Okay? Kindly see this video. Today many people don't have the link. How many people have YouTube now? Swati Mataji, you put?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prerna Mataji? On the left hand side, you see add apps, and then comes this. The 3 dots are then press that, you get add apps, you get the YouTube. Neela Mataji, you have put no? YouTube?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Manoj has. Krishnaraj, they will see on this thing. Himali, you have? YouTube?
She just added.
Okay. And then Ananta?
Probably I'm trying to add it. I'll see later from the otherwise.
Okay. You all can play. Yes. I'm playing it now. Those who can, you can see the way he says, you can see 100 times.
We have put it in the group, Prabhu, link.
Prabhu, where have you sent the link in WhatsApp?
Not there. Not there.
Touch the Shakti downs. The horses are at the gate. And they're off.
Hare Krishna. You all could see? Or they are still seeing? Yes, Swati Mataji, you could see?
Yes, Prabhu, I could.
Very, very, very touching, you know, the way it presents. More space. And how? Hare Krishna, Vijaya Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm doing it on my phone. I don't have any other way to.
Where are you? You are traveling now?
No, my laptop is conked off. So.
Okay. You could just join us?
Yeah, I joined you only around 15 minutes back. I was listening to the debate and I understand what Neela is saying. My take on that is a combination of what Preeti and Keshav Prabhu have said. That is, the association of devotees is essential, and if we ourselves can be the exemplary devotees for our children, the children can take up to Krishna consciousness. At the same time, I think today's children need a lot of evidence before they want to be convinced of anything. So what is the evidence that we can provide to the child that if he follows this path, then he will go to Godhead? Because he is not going to be able to see it immediately. He has to be convinced of something which is we are taking up to it at a older age. How do you provide it with evidence to a child who is born in America, who is not going to be able to associate with those kind of devotees? I think that was Neela's question. The simple answer was devotees, but where will she find those devotees unless she creates that environment in her own home? Even if she does it, I don't know what evidence she'll be able to provide the child.
Yes. Who will answer?
So, one thing I want to say, I'm living here since 2007, 8 years, and not only in this state, many states, right? Prabhupada's movement is like a epidemic. You don't know, but there will be one devotee around you. You have to pray and look for it. And I'm not a devotee, but somehow or other you get it. Or if you don't get it, then you find association. Like Neela, we started. How did we start? Go back to that, right? So, and then other thing is evidence. So I did not take up Krishna consciousness because I had an evidence. I took up Krishna consciousness because I liked the people, I liked the food, I liked that I got answers. Like Prerna was saying, she took up Krishna consciousness because finally she got the answer what to do. Right? I don't think I even knew there is something called back to Godhead at that time. So, but George Harrison writes in Krishna book introduction that the only way to know the taste of an apple pie is to taste it. So once I know devotees in Washington, they are Indian, their child is born here like mine, and then they are pure devotees, like they're very good. Like 10 years that Mataji is running Sunday school in the temple alone. The Sunday school, like she says the children with whom I started, now they are in college, so she's like that old now. Her own son actually gave them hard time once he was 20 years old, and then he said, I don't know what it is, but he couldn't find. He said, I want to explore the world, so he went to explore the world, and then within 2 years he came back. I can't find anything better than this. So so once we give a real taste, there is no need to give any other praman, I think. But the real taste will only come with mercy. I cannot do a magic, but I have learned one thing, that even if I will pray hard, my children take up Krishna consciousness, I will try my best according to my abilities. Before I tell myself, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. But at the end of the day, I have to look after myself. That am I getting Krishna conscious or not? Because okay, he's my child, very nice, Krishna gave me, but I also have a relation with Krishna. So maybe it sounds selfish, but you will find much satisfaction rather than getting guilty. How much, it's an introspection, I think, that how much am I Krishna conscious that I can give my child.
Yeah, it's like we had a class recently. Keshava?
I would like you to scroll down that the previous verse, Prabhu.
Okay.
The purport of the previous verse. I think some regarding evidence, there is something I read.
Okay.
Just
this is the one?
Yes, bro. Like it says, yeah, this is the one. Previous one. Previous page was better. Yes. Like here it is said, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means, he says, Krishna gives buddhi, but when he should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is intelligent enough, he will make progress on the path. Otherwise, Krishna will give. If he is intelligent enough, he'll make progress. If he is not, he doesn't have the intelligence to progress in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will give. Last line. I understood it in that way. In a sense, it can be understood that way also. It's not exactly the verse. If one is sincere and devoted to activities of devotional service, Lord gives him. Otherwise, if he has your own intelligence, you can understand the Shastras, you can read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, make progress. Slow and steady. If you don't have intelligence, as when I came to the class, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example, I think Swati Mataji was giving. That devotee was holding the Bhagavad Gita upside down and reading. Wasn't it true?
Yeah. The qualification, the person engage himself in Krishna conscious love and devotion, render all kind of service. So there has to be some activity of, conscious devotion service.
So I was trying to say that he should engage him in some kind of service, starting with chanting. So evidences will automatically start coming. Will start belief and faith. It is gradually increased. It's not that I can't say if I am put in a life and death situation now, I'll be able to call out for Krishna. I won't be in that situation. I may not be having that much of faith or belief, but it will progress. Maybe I am in the path, maybe starting, but still I am in the path. I think so.
We had a class. In fact, one more thing everybody can know. Morning 6:30 Indian time, we have Bhagavad Gita class every day on the TV. I have the link, no? v4news.com. And 12 o'clock again now. 2 times they made it in a day. They're going to relay a class every day on the internet, v4news.com. There we had a class today morning. That was nice. That was on Devi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. I developed on a class of Prabhupada. There are two kind of assets we have. One is spiritual assets, and Asuri Sampat means our comforts of life. Now the real business of human life is actually not only to acquire Asuri Sampat, which are generally comforts disconnected from the Lord. That's our life. The Devi Sampat we should effort to, when we have effort to accumulate. So Devi Sampat is there. It will be very easy. And we are Devi Sampat is just like Prabhupada attracted the whole world because he had Devi Sampat. He had so many beautiful realizations of Krishna's lotus feet in his heart. Whole world came to him to just get it from him. They were so attached to Prabhupada, so much, and Prabhupada used to go away, come so happy. It was naturally because they know they're all hungry for Devi Sampat, and he has unlimited with him to share. So we should also therefore accumulate Devi Sampada. At the end of the day, what happened, the children's, many times it happens, children get attached to us, but they don't get attached so much to their parents. We get surprised actually. But the reason is that the parents could not give them the Devi Sampada. They only gave them Asuri Sampada. Parents give everything, all opulence to the children. But then they could never make them happy because they didn't give them the Devi Sampada. And if we can give the children some Devi Sampada, means some attraction towards Krishna, the children will stay grateful forever and the relationship will be eternal. It will not be, just social or, just like when we go home when you're in engineering college, you have to go home, and you go home 5 minutes, it's over now. Now we don't want to do anything with the parents. We are in their own world. But in the Devi Sampada is there, we see Prabhupada, how by second they were glaring at Prabhupada, staring at him. Every move they are looking. Because that's actually, everybody is hungry for spiritual assets. But artificially, sometimes we pamper also the children with, Asuri Sampat. But actually, even though we may feel, just like Gandhi Prabhupada said, no, he could not satisfy the country. Finally, the same countrymen shot him dead. Because he tried to help the country on a material platform. So sometimes as parents also, recently I saw somebody, the parents, he has 4 bikes and now 3 cars, a young boy. And I know the parents have every money. Why they are pestering him so much? Because they are not able to control. Same with Dhritarashtra, could not control. Some way we should put the foot down and see that. But it is easy till the time children are below 15 years of age, 5 to 15. Once the children cross 15 years of age, it becomes tougher. It becomes tougher to train them. Then they are very sure of what is they want to do in their life. It becomes difficult. You close here now? Keshava, we can have Kirtan?
Yes, bro.
It's fine, no? Today we had some point on.
Prabhu, here everybody.
Not the best situation. Yeah. Okay. Why doesn't Preeti? Where is Preeti? They can do Kirtan. Here whole family is Krishna conscious, no problem.
No, here also, sisters also.
But it's a late night. It's a late night. Yeah. It's a late night.
I'll leave.
Yeah.
I'll leave the.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hope you're next week we meet you. We missed you so many weeks. Yes, Mataji.
Next week we'll be there. Yeah.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, so it's already late. We then wind up. Thank everybody. Yes, Ananta. Hare Krishna. Himali. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I try to see my class v4news.com. If you get time, just check up. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
6:30 morning, 12 o'clock afternoon, any time, just see.
Okay.
Yes, Manoj, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prerna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Swati.
Hare Krishna.
ठीक है, हरे कृष्ण विजय माता जी, हरे कृष्ण. ठीक है, we meet next week. श्री प्रभुपाद की
जय.